My name's Aasim Khan. I'm 25 years old and I've been working for HRF for 4 months now.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you know, we're out here in Jordan. We've been visiting people.
I'd say the most emotional events that we went through in Jordan was the story of baby Habiba, who was a 2-year-old child. She had a younger brother who was 9 months old, and she weighed less than him. She was born during just when the Syrian war had started, and she was born with complications. Her family came over to Jordan as refugees because of the situation out there, and her father, he couldn't work a proper job. Obviously, being a refugee, it was very hard to pay rent and stuff like that. And while all this was going on, his wife ended up having a stroke. So she was paralysed from the left side of her head down all the way down her body, or the left hand side was paralysed. And we met this family. We went out there and we met this family, and the father was telling us the story of how he came from Syria across to Jordan, the situation, how his wife was ill, how his daughter was ill, and how he hasn't got the capabilities to help them, get the medical attention that they deserve. To cut a long story short, the baby needed a heart operation that cost around £12,000. We, as a team, collectively, we did a live fundraiser at night, during the night, and we raised the money. All praise to God, we raised the money. £12,000 in 5 hours we raised. And then the emotional side was actually going back to the family and telling them that we've raised the money, and that was when he really opened up, and he said, my wife was paralysed, my daughter's ill, I've got another son, and he says, I came over here to Jordan, I went to every single masjid in the city, and they rejected me. They said, no, we're not going to give you the money. He said, so I went to all the rich people's houses and I knocked on their doors and I asked them, can you please help me? And they rejected me. He goes to the point where I had to go to the other side of Jordan, and I walked into a church and I pretended to be a Christian, and I got on my knees and I asked them for help, and they got rejected. They rejected him. And then he said, and then out of nowhere, you guys came from the other side of the world and you've sorted everything out. So that was very emotional for myself and the team. That's one thing that I found very surprising when I went out there. So the difference in actually seeing something on the news and seeing something in social media, and then going out there yourself and seeing them people, it's a whole different ball game. Because when you're looking at the news or when you're looking at social media, it's just another statistic, it's just another number. 50 people have been killed, 40 people have been killed, whatever the number is. But when you actually go out there and you meet these people and you see that these are real people like yourself, who live life like you, who just want the same freedom as you do, and it's really graphic. One example was we went to one house where there were some injured people, and the injuries that these people were suffering were absolutely horrific. Starting with a very young lad, his elbow joint had been blown out but from a shrapnel.
He was involved in a bomb, and as you can see, the injuries are evident. His elbow joint has been completely blown off. He's had he's scheduled for 15 operations. I believe he's got 3 left, and yeah, that's his injury there. As you can see how graphic it is.
The guy next to him, I believe he had to have his leg restructured.
Internally his leg has been shattered, so I believe there's steel structures to hold his leg together, and I believe he has also quite a few operations to go before he's can fully recover.
The last guy, he was a father. At the time when he got injured, there were 21 people in the house. 17 people passed away. They were all family members as well. It was just him and his daughter who survived.
A bomb was dropped on the house, and as you can see, his leg is, the picture speaks for itself. That steel structure there is actually holding his leg together. He also has some certain operations to go, and if you can just get it onto his right eye, and he's actually blind in that right eye, he cannot see anything. And lastly, I just want to show you this little girl. This is his daughter, and in the bomb where he was attacked, I believe there was 21 people in the house and 17 people passed away. He and his little daughter over here, this one here, she survived, but unfortunately his wife, I believe his son and his other daughter, they all passed away in the house, part of the attack. And since we've walked in here, this little girl has not smiled once. Everybody tried like smiling at her, playing with her, but as you can see, there's no emotion whatsoever in her face.
This guy was like, yeah, look at me, but what am I? He goes, my family died. He goes, and I blame myself. He goes, there's nothing left of me. And these are very, very, very difficult things to take in, because you're sat next to this person who's just lost his family and he's in a really bad condition with all the injuries that he's got, and he's still putting blame upon himself, like he's done something wrong, like he's responsible that his wife didn't make it, or that his kids didn't make it, or his brothers and his sisters didn't make it. And then finally the last one was his little daughter was sat next to him, and me and the team, we tried so hard playing with her, giving her sweets and stuff like that, you know, just to make her feel happy just a little bit.
Oh, you messed up.
I think people fail to recognise the importance of actually donating. I mean, I know we go out there and we do the work, and people can see exactly where their money is being spent. That's the reason why we go do what we're doing. But like, we're not making the difference. It's you guys that are making the difference. It's the donors that are making the difference, that are looking at the videos and sharing the videos, and people are, you know, commenting and building awareness, and them little donations, every single penny counts. And one perfect example is baby Habiba. When we went back to the hotel, we decided to do a live appeal, because we all felt really, really bad about the situation. And if it wasn't for the people's donations, we wouldn't have raised that money. We raised £12,000 in 5 hours. We went the next day and we told the family that their daughter's going to be okay. She's going to be operated on. She's not going to be disabled for the rest of her life. And you know, maybe that family, there's some light at the end of the tunnel for them. And that is the importance of the donations and the difference that it can make to people's lives.
Human Relief Foundation, we are out here, we are doing the work. This is Human Relief Foundation, real lives, real stories.
As we know, Ramadan is a very important time for Muslims and non-Muslims as well. It's important for everybody to get together and contribute something and do something together, because that is what Islam is about. And I mean, during this month now, it's just so important that everybody really, really, really gets on board and does as much as they possibly can. Not for them, not for the people out there, but for themselves, because this is a month of reflection upon yourself. Is to make yourself a better person. And definitely it is important to be sharing content, getting involved with charity work and donating. And it's just you know, it's just a big appeal to everybody to keep supporting our work, keep sharing our stuff, and keep donating to the cause.